BassResinator here. I watched a video by Claire from Claire's Crafty Corners, and she showed how she made inserts, silicone inserts, using a silicone mold. And I have these cool molds here from Zuri, and I thought, well, let me try that out and see if I can make some inserts. And they came out, peeled right out of there. I thought silicone would stick to silicone. That's what I'd been told. And so I was always afraid to do something like that, but, well, I'm going to have to try it out now. What I'm going to do is dust these with some chameleon powder. And I'm using Let's Resin Chameleons. And I'm going to use, well, there it is, magenta and this plum on the Phoenix, along with golden, so it can get like a flamish color. And then I'm going to use teal and what was that one? Plum with the wyvern. Wyvern is a dragon with only 2 legs, so, or flying dragon, yep. There's his legs down there. Okay, and then I'm going to set these in a mold, and it's going to have to be a larger mold because these are about 5.5 inches tall, and I didn't have a 5.5 inch circle or a little bit larger, so I'm going to use a little tray mold, just enough to cover them over so that we can see what they look like when they pull the resin out. Yep. Let me get to dusting. I will start with the wyvern or wyvern. I don't know how you say it. I know the way I said it was wyvern, W-Y-V-E-R-N. This chameleon powder is something extra. Yep. So I get those 2 that I'm going to use on this ready to go. Well, let me do his horns. In this plum. And all those little spiky things on his neck. This doing that route by what Claire did really is kind of cool. I will link her video. You're welcome, Claire. You needed some extra viewers, didn't you? So that you can see how she did hers as well. Okay, I'm gonna try and get, it looks like it's got a beak. And then I want to get the back side of his wings over here. And I'm doing this on some parchment paper. So I don't get it all over the tray mold. And then I'll just, after I get this done, I will, I'm going to do his tail. Then I'll put it in the mold, and hopefully I won't have any of this powder getting underneath it, so that it'll stay down like it's supposed to, like I want it to. Stay down meaning I don't want this insert to float. And if you get some of the powder underneath, it will have a tendency to float. Okay, so there's that part of it. And then I also want to get his feet. And those top part of that wing right here, that's got some of those talons or some type of hook, something that'll do damage to whoever tries messing with it. I did use some mold release, and it wasn't drying like I wanted it to, and so apparently I got some, and there was a bubble of it right there. But if I can get down in there, get down in there, get down in there. Let's get down on it anyway. There's some little hooks or claws right there. That's what I'm trying to get dusted with this. Anywhere there's a point, there's something right there. That's what I'm trying to get. Okay, now the rest of that is going to be the teal. Don't want to go too many crazy colors on this. Yeah, this process that Claire mentioned, and I copied it. I didn't show me doing it because I just did the same process that she did. So that's why I'm gonna link her her video. But as I'm dusting this, you can see all of the contours of the original mold. Stuff that was kind of hard to see with just the silicone itself. But this dust should come off. There's another little spot where the mold release didn't release. When I pour the resin over the top, should come off in that resin and leave a really pretty design on the underside. And then I can either fill that or just leave it hollow with this design in it. Wow, look at that. Isn't that pretty? Yeah. Okay, I'll put the teal away. After I'm done with this, I'm going to shake them off a little bit because I don't want, there might be some extra powder on there. Okay, this guy, this Phoenix, shall I call him River? No. There is a brush I have right over here. Let me use it because it's a finer brush. And this Phoenix has a little beak. I want that beak gold, and I want his, not all of his head, but those feathers on the back of his head and his beak to be red. I mean gold, red, listen to me. And I want his feet, talons, gold. Okay. And now, I may come back with more gold after a bit. I really want this magenta on his head and neck area. You know what? Well, you don't, because I haven't told you yet. What I'm going to do is come down here and leave the tips of these tail feathers to where I can put gold there. All of the things that I'm using today, including the silicone that I used the other day that you did not see, I will list all of that in there in the description. So if you're interested in trying to do this yourself, which when Claire did it, I was like, I'm interested in trying. And so I did. And since she's the one that showed it, I'm giving her the credit. I don't know if she originated it or if somebody else showed her. Okay, so gold down here on the tips of these feathers. I think it'll give it a cool look. Wow, I used a little bit too much gold there. And I'll do the same on the tips of his wings. Just use that I spilled. Okay, now I'm going to use the plum for the wings, because I got the magenta on his body and tail. And this plum is very close in color to that magenta. In fact, you might not be able to tell. Might not be able to see a difference at all. So, one way that you can tell a difference is if I pour this in and then I take the resin out and then remove these inlays, and then back it with black, and then you'll see the difference between the magenta and plum. Okay, I'm going to stop right now and mix up a bunch of resin. So here we go. I have my rectangular tray mold, and I sprayed a little bit of alcohol down after I blew these off. Look at those colors. Now, if you look at this now, you can see the magenta and the plum. And if you get a different angle, when I was blowing them off, I thought, oh, there is a big time difference in color. So, yeah. Okay, mix up resin time. Okay, I've mixed up how much of this? About 16 ounces of resin, and I'm using Counterculture DIY hard cast. I put in some of this crushed druzy geode crystals from Unicorn Art. So you can see the label. There you go. Just to add a little extra bling in here to make it kind of interesting, because it was just a big tray with just two pieces in there, and that just looked a little different. Okay, so I'm pouring up from a little bit of a height. I don't know exactly how much resin this is going to take, but I want it to get over the top of these inlays. Hope I have enough. Okay, this guy's almost covered, and that Phoenix needs a little bit more. Maybe I'll have to mix up just a touch more. This guy has covered everything except his belly area, and the same thing with the Phoenix, belly and part of the tail feathers. Okay, I think if I mix up another ounce or two, I'll be good. And this will be kind of a pretty piece. Now, I don't like that bubble coming up right there. And there's one over here. That could mean that there's air trying to get, that there's resin trying to get underneath those inlays. Not what I want. No, it's not acting like it's coming up at all. So I don't know, maybe those are coming up. Well, you see there's some right there on those glass pieces. And there's some little bubbles hanging out, of course, in the corners. And I even let this resin sit for about 12 minutes so that it would release the majority of its bubbles. Bubbleture. Those pieces of glass have little places where they hold on to those bubbles. And I want them gone. I don't want bubbles in here. Let loose, let loose. There's a bubble up against the wall. Thought I went, maybe I didn't make it all the way over to here. Thought I did. No, I did. I don't think I'm going to need all that much more. Because now that it's gone out and it's come back a little bit, it has leveled off just a touch. Okay, put you on pause. Okay, I went crazy. I did not want to mix up any more resin after that last little 2 ounces that I put. So what I ended up doing to try and displace some of the resin so that it would get deeper, I'm just popping some air bubbles right now that came up because of what I just did that you didn't see me do, is I took some of these, they're like fake ice cubes that you can put on a table decoration, but they also look like big old hunks of diamonds. So I put around there, you know, it's not going to hurt anything, but now both, oh, I got a little bit more. Now both inserts are completely covered. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put my dust cover over and let it cure. And I'll get after it tomorrow. Okay. See you tomorrow. This is all cured up. I'll be pulling out of the mold, and then I'll try and get those inlays out. I hope everything worked there. And then I have some black UV resin that I thought I could just put in the back to fill in that gap instead of trying to pour a flood coat on the back. I'm not going to do that. I'll just do black UV resin. So let me put this on pause, which is French for hold your horses. No, it is not, but here we go. Nice thing about this mold is it peels off relatively easy. A little bit overhang right there. And that came out easily. Now, yay, I don't think we got too much that went underneath. Let me get mold out the way. I got a funny looking band-aid thingy on my finger. Oh, had a toothpick right there. It's now on the floor. I'll grab this one, an extra one. Look at that. The color came right off. Like it's supposed to. There we go. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, da, 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 da. Dun, da, 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 da. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. 10 points to whoever is the first person that can tell me what song that is. Or even who the composer of the music is. Get off my finger. That piece of overflow was sticking on my finger. Okay, now for the head, which has a little overflow on it too, and I don't want to pull real hard because there's not much holding that head in place as far as silicone is concerned. And he came out. Yeah! 1. That really is nice looking. Thank you, Claire. You ready for this one? I do declare Claire was right. I'm not trying to make fun of your name, but it's fun play on words. Okay. Now, beak is out. And the horns came out. Yay! Coolness. Okay, now let me get my X-Acto knife. To be exacto, I'm getting my X-Acto knife because I don't want that overhang on there. Don't put your finger down in front of this if you desire to maintain use of your finger. Very sharp. I have cut myself one time when I was much younger, before I ever did any resin stuff. I was cutting linoleum with some, and the linoleum one. Tim 0 linoleum 1. Okay, now that's annoying. Get off. Or as I tell my students when they start singing bad notes, that's annoying. No let's sing like that, please. I just don't want this little bit of overhang going on, because when I put in the the UV resin, it'll get stuck on it and cause possible problems with air. I'm not going to mention names, but I had a student with a little bit of problem with air today. Whoo, doggy. He left the room in a hurry, and I know why. Ah, that was foul. Foul, and I'm not even working on the bird yet. I'm working on the dragon. I don't know if I have to actually fill the whole cavity. I don't think I do. I just need to get the areas that are colored with that chameleon powder. And this is not the intense chameleon that I used, so if I use black, it's going to definitely darken it up. Okay, just a little bit right through here. Oh, right. If I had some good, I do have some good stuff. I have some pliers here. Yay! Why? Da, 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 da. I want it that way. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay, I'm gonna just pause this. You don't need to see what I'm doing. I'm just cleaning it up. Be right back. Okay, I'm back from outer space. I should have changed that stupid lock. I should have changed the stupid key. Yeah, okay, so I've got that black UV resin from Counterculture DIY. You know what? I did not clean around this beak. And wouldn't you know it, that's probably where it's going to be hardest to get in and not be able to get rid of bubbles, because I won't be able to reach in there. Okay. We shall try again. I'm not going to go real deep. I'm going to go in a couple layers. Oh boy, there's a pile of, I thought I'd gotten all of those overhangs off. There's that guy. Now let's go over here. And I'm leaving this one over here for that UV resin to try and spread out. May have to open another bottle of this black. See, I bought a whole bunch of them when they were on sale. That's me. If it's on sale and I'm using it, I will try and get it. Whoa, getting to the end of this bottle. Okay, that one's done. Go grab another. Hello, motor. Hello, father. Here I am in Camp Water. And it's fun when they come like that. And then you got to pop them open. Good thing I got this handy. And I've got my paper towel over here to grab that. Wow, I just looked and I see a dog hair right there. Got it. You know, I may not have to fill it up any more than that, as long as all of that color is backed by black. That'd be nice. There are a couple bubbles here. Couple, nothing. Oh, that's when that bottle was spitting. That's not just a couple, that's a plethora. I don't know if you saw that. That little bit, maybe that's a way to get rid of the extra overhang. You let it burn for a bit. Okay, now get all the way up in those horns. Oop. All the way down in that tail thing. Okay, I'm going to cure that up, and I may put a little bit more in there because a couple areas are on the shallower side. That's weird. Okay, here we go. And I don't know if you can see it, but this UV resin, I'm standing way over to the side because it puts off, you can see the fumes come up. I'm going to just do a quick cure like this, and then I'm going to bring the big lamp over. The big boy lamp. Yeah. Big Boy, up. Different parts of the country, they have a restaurant called Big Boy. And they got this statue of this big kid standing out front, holding up a hamburger. Okay, whoop. Let me pull this over. Okay, I'm going to put that on for 60 seconds. I'll come back to you in just a second. Okay, this is crazy. I put, after these cured up, I put a little bit more in areas where it was lighter colored. And the Phoenix came out fine. Look what it did over here. A chunk of something came up. Like it was alien. Oh, it's coming out. And his horn up there on the top had a protrusion. But now, let's see. Ho, ho, ho. Yeah, I don't need to put any more. Oh, there's some junk on that butcher paper that I had there. Okay, you ready to see this? You ready to see this? Let me get